The Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation is saddled with the responsibility of protecting women and girls and creating awareness on the issues that affect them. Thus, today, the Lagos State government joined the rest of the world to celebrate Women Menstrual Hygiene Day, an annual event earmarked every 28th of May to reiterate the importance of hygiene management during menstruation with the theme Menstrual Hygiene Management among women and adolescents. It is time for action. Speaking at the day celebration, the First Lady of Lagos State, Mrs. Claudina Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, represented by Honorable Fumi Omofosho, emphasized on the need to educate women and girls about the essentiality of menstrual hygiene.
For this present administration through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, to think about this beautiful initiative is very commendable, and I'm sure that the girls are happy. I can imagine myself to be a little girl in secondary school amongst the people sitting down, and the way I would feel, because hygiene is very, very important. Menstrual hygiene is very, very important to their future, to their reproductive health and their well-being.
We realize that a lot of young women do not know what they need to do while they are menstruating. A lot of young ladies think it's a taboo to be menstruating, so they do not even discuss it. A lot of mothers do not even know how to discuss this issue with their young ladies and women. We also realize that vulnerable women do not know how to dispose of their sanitary towel. They do not know the number of hours they need to have the sanitary towels on them. So today we're lecturing, we're advocating, we're sensitizing women, vulnerable women and young ladies on the use of sanitary towel, proper disposal of sanitary towel, and proper hygiene management when they are menstruating.
Lagos State called upon me to give a lecture on their maiden edition for it. And the purpose of that is to educate girls and women on their menstrual hygiene, because that's the core of womanhood. Bleeding, that shouldn't be seen as a taboo, that norms shouldn't see as an aberration, because without the menstrual flow, there will be no continuity of humanity. Because it is through the menstrual flow that human beings are perpetuated. So for that reason, we have to be educated.
Menstrual cycle sets the space for reproduction between the ages of 12 to 52. It is a landmark which identifies us as women in the society. Still speaking at the day celebration, some other personalities aired their views on what the society, especially women and girls, ought to know in being hygienic during menstrual cycle.
It's about time that we begin to let them know the importance of personal hygiene when they're having their menstrual cycle, and also that they have the menstrual cycle finished or completed for the month. It doesn't end there. It continues until the time of menopause. It runs like it's something, an obligation that runs through half of your lifetime. So it's important to imbibe in them now the culture of personal hygiene, and also for personal healthy nutritional activity, or how should I say, endeavor, so that they begin to understand that there are certain things that they must not eat, and there are certain things that they must eat that is good for their body and their general well-being.
I've learned a lot, like the proper way of calculating my menstruation now, because I used to miscalculate it. And also I've also learned some other things to use. Like today will be the first time I'm hearing about the cup, hearing about the sponge and all those things. And also I've also learned to be more hygienic in handling my menstruation, so that my health will not be affected, and I can also educate other people.
I learned about how can be confident about ourselves when we're doing our menstrual cycle. I will not feel ashamed about ourselves, and the symptoms of if we are doing our menstrual cycle, and how we can maintain our menstrual cycle, how to be hygienic about our menstrual cycle. and also learned about where our blood comes from the womb and then to the vagina.
However, the Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation says it will continue to implore women and girls to scale up on their personal hygiene by informing and educating them on menstrual hygiene cycle.